gamers, it's Lucky Lux, and today we're going to be talking about team building in Eversoul. Going to be going over some basic tips and information for a lot of you because I want this to be a more so free to play friendly video, because I'm not going to be going over specific team synergies and specific teams to build off of that, because that is for people who have all the units that they want. This is going to be for something that where it's like, man, I'm really trying to build my team. I'm not sure who I can use or how to use them. This is for you. Also, if you guys are needing more help and assistance, please join the Discord. It's going to be in the description for the link, and I have tons of people there who are willing to help. You can get help for hires. You can just talk to people about different tips, team building, figure crafting, and everything like that. Also, you can catch me playing this game live on twitch.tv, Lucky Lux Gaming. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into this video. So we know that there are the different classes. You have caster, defender, ranger, striker, supporter, and warrior, right? Also, you have your different formations that give different bonuses for that basic defense, range, and assault. Now, I know a lot of people like to use the range and a lot of people like to use assault. They have something specific, but today we're going to be talking about the basic one because it gives an averaged, really good split of all the bonuses, a little more to the defense and HP, especially if you're early, right? And so that's going to be the front line where we're going to be putting our defenders and warriors. We want to make sure that we have the tankier characters up here because they're going to be the ones who move up, and they're going to be taking a lot of damage from the DPSs, right? The back line is going to be our DPS, our supporters, which includes like your healers or buffers, because we don't want them to take as much damage. Now, of course, an assassin can jump to the back, but that's a real specific type of situation, right? So in this front spot, we're gonna use, for example, Chloe. She's a tank that most people have, not most people, everybody has, because she's free, so we're going to use her. Now, in this second spot, you typically want to use an off tank, a warrior, somebody who's has strong resistances, someone who can also absorb damage, but can do some damage as well, right? Kind of like a bruiser. So there are a couple of different options that you can use for this spot. Like, a lot of people like to put Catherine here to also heal the front line defender, and she can absorb some damage. You have different options like Dora. You could use Mika, who's free, right? So for this video, I am going to put Catherine up here because a lot of people like Catherine, right? So now we have our front line. We have somebody who can make the frontline tank invincible, can also heal and shield, right? Pretty good pairing together. The next character we're going to use is going to be our healer, right? Healer, buffer, typically all in one, which I'm going to put here Talia, only because a lot of people have Talia. Talia is a character that is $1, or you can get her from the selector, you get her in summons, but I know typically a lot of people have Talia. She's buffer and healer in one. And yes, someone can say like, well, why would you get another healer if you have Catherine? Because Catherine runs up and sometimes forgets that there's people behind her and can't heal all of them, and you have to use her ult to shield everybody. And you don't really want to ult with Catherine, while it can save you, but it should be a like panic button ult, not something that you depend on, right? So next here we have our two DPSs. I typically like to have like a single target and a AoE. Of course, you can do two AoEs if you want. Just depends on who you get, right? They just need to be two different DPSs, because we have Talia here, who's our buffer and healer. So we're going to use two different DPSs. So if we're wanting to keep the synergy of the factions, you could honestly go with a character that I'm pretty sure most of us have, Methy. We're going to be getting her for free. She's also a buffer and debuffer with her artifact, which you'll find out later. But she gives a crit rate buff for everybody, and she is a single target DPS with a little bit of AoE, but mainly single target, right? So a good character to stay in the back, pairs well with a lot of these characters here. So now the last one, it's kind of up to you if you're wanting to stick with the synergy. Now you can go straight single target and go with Lindsay if you want, who is free, and this would be a complete pretty much 4 of these characters would be given to us free. There's Catherine you have to summon for. You could also go with using Naya here if you wanted. She's a really great AoE caster. You could go with Vivian, who is Also a buffer in top tier, and you would have amazing AoE between Talia, Mephi, and Vivian. So it's totally up to you, but like we'll just keep it this way because this is a pretty solid team here with lots of AoE. But this is a basic team. You have your buff of 3-2 attack 15%, HP 15%, right? Uh, like a team built like this, like if you had the specific team, you'd honestly be able to push lots of content, especially if you got multiple copies of these characters. You'd be able to push pretty far, right? And again, you can flex some of these spots if you want. You can flex her, put her there, and still keep that buff, right? So just kind of think about it. You're a little flexible on these. Let's say if you get Miriam, you could do that. If you want to use anybody else, you can put that there and still do Mephi. You could put Jade, right? It again, flexible is what you want to have it as. So, and I was using these characters because typically human and fairy are the classes that a lot of people like. But just remember, just focus on building a tank, off tank, and then have a healer, and then 2 DPSs. That's the main thing that you want to think about, and just think you do want to have some type of AoE defense with going that. Now, the last couple tips I'm going to talk about is with building a team like this, how do you want to ult, right? You typically want to ult with somebody who is going to use an AoE ult, right? So that's why Talia is great. She has AoE. That's why with the team that I had earlier, let's go back to them. Vivian has an AoE ult. Talia has an AoE ult. Mephi's more so single target, right, with a little bit of AoE. So you want to think about that too when you're building your team. You want to see who are you gonna ult with, because I know a lot of people play on auto. So if you're wanting those ults to you're not really want to have to micromanage, just make sure that you have an AoE character on. It makes your life so much easier, especially if you don't have anybody who can jump to the back line. You want to have AoE to take care of the DPS in the back. But guys, this pretty much concludes my video on kind of basic team building to help you guys out. I'll be making another video going over some advanced team building tips, like more synergies and stuff. But this is something you can use for a formula of how to just build a team with anybody that you have. And again, if you don't have a 3-2, you can always run one of each faction and you'll get a buff that way as well. Or you can just run whoever you have, as long as you just have the right classes that I was talking about and the different types of DPS and these tips. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, comment down below what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to get more content of Eversoul. I'll be posting more videos because honestly, I'm loving this game. I love playing this game. And if you want to catch me playing this game live, catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LuckyLakesGaming. And please remember to join the Discord if you guys are wanting to join the community that I'm building for Eversoul, because I want to really grow with this game. And I've been seeing the growth, and honestly, with me making this content, that is a reflection of me seeing the growth from it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Looks out.